Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
Still first down.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's 2nd down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
This is Coleman with the ground. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now a give, right side. Carson, and shutting him off, now open field. You know, I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now the former Terrapin, this is Ty Johnson. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. They'll try and run with their fullback. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
came up about a yard short, but I can't help it, Brandon. I love it when the big guy gets the football and he tries to battle his way forward. There's something about those guys carrying the ball and watching people trying to stop them. That's just great theater.
They run for it with Carson, and he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. Dobbs. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Carson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Chris Carson, touchdown number 15 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are.
Here we go. 180! Cut! Joker!
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And for a second straight play, the Lion defense drops him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
And now the throw here is incomplete. And with that, we come to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Carson. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. What did you see there on the defensive side? What allowed that good-sized run?
Well, they were in a cover 2 alignment, which means your 2 safeties are back away from the line of scrimmage. So if you can match up your blocking at the line, at the point of attack, there's usually some room, a big gap between that 2nd level and 3rd, and that's what they were able to exploit.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
How about this offense already feeling good about themselves with a touchdown already in their first drive? They've certainly come out firing, even though that one was incomplete.
With the 7-0 lead, more apt to take a shot like that downfield?
Hey, you're 1 to the good. Go ahead and try and press your advantage.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Dobbs, he completes it to Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On play action, it's Dobbs. Looking downfield for Jones. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Jones, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Now Prater to add the PAT. And when the quarterback drops and has a guy that wide open in the end zone, his eyes have to get just as big as grapefruits.
Oh, without a doubt. This is the easiest throw you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefit of a touchdown on top of it. Make that throw.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. So far, been so good this season. Well on his way, as you see, to a 1,000-yard campaign. Is he almost having the type of year to where you say, let's let him get his and we'll control everything else?
That's one way to go about it. Personally, I go about it differently. I'm taking on the bullet. I've got to because he gives his team an identity and confidence. And if we slow him down, now guess what? Everyone starts looking at each other like who's going to make the play? Because he's made all the plays so far. So I have to go get him first. Build my defenses towards shutting him down.
Good luck. I mean, not many teams have been able to do it. We'll see. Dobbs looking to throw on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Throwing again. Dobbs. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Going down back at the 28.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, you're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Now Saquon Barkley. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half in some of these shorter gains.
And now Garoppolo lost the football. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Garoppolo. He dumps it off to Barkley. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Inside the red zone, it's Garoppolo. Tate bringing it in for the Giant touchdown. Golden Tate, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Lorenzo Carter just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Dobbs. And that is incomplete. It was a safety, Kevin Byard, that time, who was able to knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And running with power here. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First down, Giants on a pickup of 14.
50's a mic. 50's a mic. Tight there.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw is Garoppolo. That one caught by Allison. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And now a long one for Matt Bryant. He's hit from 62 in his career, but that was all the way back in 2006. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here are the Lions to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing here, Dobbs. Caught by Jones. Got some room at the 30. Marvin Jones. He's at the 40. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, 84 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. On play action, now Garoppolo. That's into the hands of the tight end, Ellison. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards to pick up there.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They run with Barkley on first down, and he gets about 5 out of it. The tackle made there by Jared Davis. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Barkley. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zach Brown making his presence felt in the backfield.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 2 there, second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive.
And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. The tackle made by Eric Murray. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They run again with Carson. And some space here. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The first down carry here for Johnson. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Dobbs. It's caught, Lockett. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Prater for the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. That's fielded in the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trey Flowers there on the tackle. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll run it again with Barkley. He finds an opening past the 40. And some room to work. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. And he will finally be wrestled down at the Lions' 13. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. On the draw, this is Barkley. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. And give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. From 3 yards out. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself, no reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the lead is down to 11 at 28-17. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And the drive starts with a completion left side. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Here we go.
It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario.
It's caught at the 10. A big play there for Detroit. 53 yards. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Super Bowl 49 hero Malcolm Butler. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. There's Garoppolo to throw. Completes it to Coleman. Room here to run. Corey Coleman. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Corey Coleman, 93 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. So that's a really big play here in the fourth quarter. And don't look now, they're right back in this game.
Did it feel to you, as it did to me, that maybe they were a little bit soft in what they were lining up with on defense? Almost like they were protecting the lead rather than trying to make a play.
And now that lead is down to just one score. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for two?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. Now the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They have to find a way to throw it effectively.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dexter Lawrence drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. Out left, Ellison's got it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. He's back to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. Back to throw. He completes it to Tate. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Garoppolo hustling him back to the line now. He'll look to throw. It's caught by Coleman. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Corey Coleman with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Giants have taken the lead. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Now Garoppolo to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
I think we can figure out why they went for 2 there, right? Up 1, you want to make it a field goal difference if at all possible. They didn't get it. Now they've got to play some defense down the stretch.
Yeah, not much margin for error now for your D. They just have to get it into range. So now the Lions down by 1. And time, a huge factor. And they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll look to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. 1st and 10. Downs. It's complete to Lockett. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
You have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now all eyes shift to the Giants, trailing by 2 after the made field goal. 35 seconds to go. Garoppolo. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And Charles, in this one, the 4th quarter became a lot more interesting, I know, than I anticipated. Probably you anticipated. A comeback bid falling just a little bit short.
You're never supposed to count a team out, and I know we didn't on air, but mentally, I just didn't see this type of a comeback, especially one that put them in a position to put the real pressure on them down the stretch.
So for Detroit, they'll finish the first half of the schedule dead even at 4-4. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Giants, changes could be in the air as they fall to 0-8 now on the year. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew.